When they were boys, Bastian and Chan were best friends. They believed every day was an adventure. They would send paper airplanes flying over the river, each one carrying a big dream for the future. But life is made of choices. One morning, Chan chose to walk to school, and Bastian, he chose to hide behind a tree. He thought he was choosing freedom. He didn't know he was choosing a trap. As the years passed, Chan built his future. But Bastian, he just let us fall apart. He spent his days lost in a screen, and his mother, Elsa, would watch from the doorway. Her heart was breaking, but she never said a word. At night, Chan's lamp was always on. He was studying, working. Bastian's room was dark. The two friends were still living in the same town, but they were already in different worlds. When Bastian became a man, the world didn't want him. Doors closed in his face. Every no from a job interview felt like a punch to the stomach. He was lost and he had no one to blame but himself. Then the worst happened. The family lost their home. A for sale sign was stabbed into their front yard. It wasn't just a house they lost, it was their whole life. Bastian saw the truth in his mother's hands. Elsa's hands, once soft, were now rough and tired. She was counting the last of their money. He finally saw the price of all his mistakes. Bastian fell as low as a person can go. He sat on a wet city street, the rain washing over him. He wasn't a man anymore. He was a ghost. This was the end of his road. Then a shadow blocked the rain. A man in a perfect coat was standing over him, holding an umbrella. Bastian looked up, and his heart stopped. It was Chan, his old friend. The boy he used to laugh with was now a successful man, and they were face to face. Bastian waited for the laugh, for the "I told you so," but it never came. Instead, Chan looked at him with sadness, and then he reached out his hand. It was more than a hand. It was a lifeline. Bastian stood in front of a tall office building. His hands were shaking. This door was his chance to become a new person. He took a deep breath and walked in. The work was hard. At night, when everyone else was resting, Bastian was studying. He was tired, but he remembered the cold street, and he kept going. He was fighting for his life. And Chan was always there. He wasn't just a boss. He was the friend who never gave up on him. He believed in Bastian, even when Bastian didn't believe in himself. Slowly, something shifted. Bastian was no longer just following orders. He started to lead. He stood in front of his team, sharing his ideas. His voice was clear. His back was straight. For the first time, he felt like he belonged. Years of hard work led to one moment. The day they called him director. It wasn't just a title. It was proof. Proof that he had changed. Proof that he was worth something. And then he could finally take care of his mother. He saw the look in Elsa's eyes when he gave her a new blanket. All the years of worry in her face were gone, replaced by pure, beautiful pride. That look made every struggle worth it. One day, Bastian and Chan sat together in a cafe, just like old times. But they weren't boys anymore. They were men bound by a second chance. No words were needed. Their friendship had been tested, and it had saved a life. Now in his own office, Bastian saw a young man who reminded him of his past self. Nervous, unsure. And Bastian did what Chan once did for him. He offered him a chance. The circle was now complete. Bastian's old life was finally behind him. The ghost of who he used to be had faded away. So if you ever feel like you're too far behind, like you've made too many mistakes, remember this. Your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. It is never, ever too late to start again.